today. My name is Telma Mello, and we have Elaine Jones on the Elaine Jones team, and Mary and Jardina.
There you are.
It's got very little vowels.
Yeah.
And we decided to do a Realtor Moms panel. I'm going to be asking questions to these great, successful women, and I'm also going to be answering questions. So the same questions that they're going to be asked in the conversation that we're going to have, I'm also going to be engaged in it as if I were just on the panel as well.
Sweet.
Great idea. Yeah, really great. So really it's just going to be a conversation. It's going to be a conversation about real estate and about how we do what we do. So we'll start with the basics. We'll start off by, we'll start with Mariana, if that's okay? Just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
How long you've been in the business and, transaction-wise or GCI, you feel safe and sharing with us.
I'll tell you what's happening.
Kids, ages, all of that.
We'll do. Well, good afternoon, fellow realtors. As Telma mentioned, I'm Mariana, also known as Realtor Mom. It's on my business card.
Love the name.
Yeah. Yes.
The
Oh, yeah, it's on my
Realtor
card.
Mom.
My license plate is
Yeah.
Realtor Mom. So I am on my 7th year in real estate. The last 3 years have been my full-time years, and I have 3 daughters. Evangelina is 9, Leah is 6, and Medina is going to be 5 in June. Oh, and also the biggest baby is 37. Can't forget him. I made the best business decision joining Keller Williams exactly a year ago. And my GCI's year to date from last May to now is just over 108,000. So I'm on my 10th deal right now this year, so hoping to cap by the end of the summer, which would be nice. Working on it and growing, right?
And it's only May, right?
It's
Yeah,
only May. It's only May. Yeah. So and I have a background in construction. I was also by diploma a dental assistant, and only made so much I could make and said, time to take on real estate full time. So left the dental world and here I am doing real estate full time for my family.
Elaine?
Cool. So this is my 6th year in real estate. I went into it with the intention of being able to walk my kids to school in the morning. I was working for corporate Canada, so I was working for Winners and HomeSense head office. I'd been there 12 and a half years. I had 18 people reporting to me. Stocks, bonuses, full benefits, everything. Making great salary, but I missed my kids. I worked long hours, I traveled a lot. I was in New York, I was in Montreal, and I want to be around my kids. So the day that I left, I wrote 400 cards in that building, and I left them on desks. And they're today, still 6 years later, 30% of my business. It's 1,100 people that work there,
So
they're my farm. What else can I say? So Zoe was starting JK. She's 10 now, and that's when I started doing my license. So it was my trigger. So I have Zoe, she's 10, and Phoenix, who's 8.
So what made you do that? What made you decide to not having the experience of real estate and probably not understanding lead gen or understanding necessarily relationship at a business level, but what made you decide to write 400 cards and really begin your real estate career without even beginning it? That was pretty brilliant.
I knew that I didn't want to go back. I knew with leaving there, nobody really wanted me to leave there. They still asked me to come back. I wanted to make sure I could make this living work so that I could go on field trips and pick up my kids. And essentially I knew I drove a business there that was successful. A multi-billion-dollar, company I was a big part of. And so I knew I had a lot of the transferable skills to build a business. So I knew part of it was make sure people knew where I was going. They knew I could negotiate. They knew they had a trusting relationship with me. So I decided to tell them all about it. So I started meetings then. My first month in real estate, I had a listing and I sold their house and moved them, and they were the VP of logistics at that head company. So
Yeah, that's really interesting and really powerful, right?
Mhm.
Like So again, back to, I think what most of us are gonna talk about today, and just having conversations with you ladies, is it's relationship, right?
Completely.
It's really relationship-based, this business, and you gotta know how to negotiate, and you have to know how to either be organized or leverage that, and be insightful on your ideas and your creativity, but you don't really need to recreate the wheel, reinvent the wheel, right? Relationships comes down to it, so. Well, I'm Tom Mello. I've been in business similar to you. I think we started at the same brokerage at Royal LePage. So I'm in my 7th year of real estate. Yeah, in my 7th year of real estate. And GCI is, last year was over 400 GCI. I was a solo agent with an admin up until December. And December, things really changed. I grew a team. I brought on 3 agents, and I have 2 licensed admins and 1 non-licensed. So things have really changed. We are on a trajectory to do 100 deals this year as a team, and individually, I'll probably hit about 50 deals of those 100.
Nice.
Yeah, so why did I get into real estate? I was corporate. I've always loved real estate. I always had a love for real estate. Did real estate in different areas just growing up. I did title insurance. Naturally, that just came natural. I had a law clerk by diploma as well. And really loved the real estate part of it. You do different laws in there, and so the real estate really gravitated to me. And I have 4 children, and I had my first child really, really young at 21, and so then you have to grow up, right? I did mortgages. Things didn't work out with Dad. I did mortgages, so it was really to take care of my kids. I understood that I was working corporate when I had my son, who's 18 now. I understood that corporate wasn't going to cut it. So, even making that pace of salary and being promoted and moving up the ladder, I understood that that wasn't going to cut it. And the same as Lane, I didn't want to be gone. I was driving down to, or taking a GO train down to Royal Bank Tower. I didn't want to be gone for 15-hour days, like 7 to 7, right? So I became self-employed. I got into mortgages through a contact of mine, and that led into 5 years of doing mortgages, and then naturally so I just got tired of the mortgage finance side of it and got into what I love to do, is be with people at a deeper level and impact families at a really deeper level, right? So been in real estate since then. I think what I'd love to know is what you found most difficult in managing, because we've all had children going into our careers.
Yes.
So, it's the same and different when we have a career than we have children after. Because I feel there's a lot of juggling either way, but so much more juggling when you have them at different ages, different stages, right? And we all have had children going into real estate, small phases. So what have you found the most difficult to manage with career and kids? What has been your biggest difficulty or challenge?
I guess time. I mean, you feel sometimes you're spreading yourself so thin because, as for myself, I have 3 little ones. When my real estate career started, it was my middle child who decided to enter this world 2 months too early. So it put a halt on my business, and that was the time that I was trying to grow it. I was trying to work on my database. I started from nothing. I was in a dental office. I was a dental assistant. It wasn't my business. So when having the kids, and I already had one at home, and then the third one was a surprise, came a little too soon right after. But it became time. It became, everyone needed my attention, including the 37-year-old. Then you feel like, where am I going? But you want to please your clients at the same time. So time management is a big thing. My calendar became my best friend. Putting everything in. And I mean, I will plan, aside from my vacations the week before. But no, that's been, some of them are on the fly, but I'm going to Croatia this summer. I haven't been in 19 years and I was born there. So off I go and book that off first, and I work around my family schedule. And then I incorporate everyone else as it comes. I don't answer my phone until 9 in the morning. and it's off at 4 o'clock. Well, actually 3:30 when I pick up my kids. And unless, like, I see my phone, I see who's calling, but if it's not important, I'm not answering it till about 7. Then I have it for an hour. Around 8:30, kids are going to bed, so I'm offline. So it's really your calendar and just time management. Time management.
So let's speak to that a little bit. Calendar, I mean, we hear this a lot in any training, live by your calendar. Because your legion, your own time, your time off, your sanity, your family time, and if you live by your calendar, you'll do business, right? And when you live by your client's calendar, you're always doing what your clients need, and if they all need the same thing at the same time, then you're not in control. And if you're not in control of your calendar, you're not in control of your life, you're not in control of your business, you're just not in control of negotiations, you're not in control of listing consultation. That's really how I feel. So as a mom, as great as it is to say we live by our calendar,
Well,
you know, it is challenging, right? It is challenging, and you have to make some harder decisions. You know, I was having a conversation with my partners in my business recently on, it's not about working all the time, every day,
right.
but you have to really decide where your goals are and set the right expectation for what you're going to do. So in saying that, I, as a mom, was working day and night. And so as a realtor mom, even more so I feel than a single person, we're squeezing in work where we can. So as much as I live by the calendar for me, things happen. Children
Yeah,
get
it's
sick,
not-
you
yeah.
gotta pick somebody up, somebody calls from school, and you're literally like, you know, doing this on the phone and picking up children, dropping them to dance, right? But definitely the advice of putting it in your calendar. Also don't be a secret realtor mom. Tell your clients you're a mom. Embrace that, let them know, make it very clear to your clients, the same way you're having a conversation with your people, between 9:30 and 12:30. If you don't get me, it's because I'm looking for buyers and sellers for my clients. I'm looking for buyers for your listing, and I'm looking for sellers, for buyers for sellers, right, or vice versa. So if you set that expectation right up front as a mom, and just say between this time and this time, you won't get me, but you know, Jesse or our admins are happy to help you, or one of my partners, right? There's also that 3:30 to 7:30 is my pivotal time too. I'm usually doing the same thing, not really filtering calls, rushing around. And sometimes it just happens, right? Like I've negotiated deals where your kids are crying, and I brought kids
with me.
to
They
live
did
me.
my open house.
I have 4 children. One is 18, boy, 15 girl, full-time dance comp. She has for 12 years, so that's a whole other job. I have a 4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. I was literally signing a listing when Hunter was 10 days. So it really is calendar and people around you.
Yeah.
Lynn, how about you?
I'm a very structured person, so I like schedules, I like structure. So I run my day-to-day as a business. So on a Sunday night, I plan my week. So I know I like school drop-off, I like school pickup. Those just become appointments to me. My kids also have a lot of activities at night. So if I have a client that says on Monday, hey, I really like 14 Main Street, can we go see it this week? And I'll say, sure. Does Wednesday night work for you or Friday night work best? Because I know the other days are activities. Or if they say, can we go tonight? I'll say, well, I'm booked. Is this urgent? Or if I know the client, I know their kind of urgency or their situation. If I need to, I'll get a backup to help me. But most of the time, I'll just say I'm booked, but it's them with my kids.
Yeah.
I went on vacation for the last 2 weeks, my clients didn't know. I had a physical presence of an agent that showed up, that I communicated, but nobody knew that I was gone.
Yeah, I think that's a really great suggestion right there. And we're just having a conversation here.
Everybody's different.
Sorry, and men.
Excluding.
If you wanna ask-
And Realtor Dad.
And Realtor Dad.
Real to that.
Realtor moms and Realtor dads, if you wanna ask questions while
Feel
we're
free.
conversing,
Yeah.
go for it, okay? Yeah.
Tell us about the mindset aspect of it. I know a lot of people would have always mindset challenges. We all do. tell us about how did you overcome that in terms of, like, for example, Elaine said, oh, I'm booked. Perhaps, maybe you can say, I've got an appointment, right?
Yeah.
Can we do it tomorrow or the day after?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the major fear people has. I've got, and we already know that a lot of people are struggling at the beginning because they start and they got few appointments, few clients, and it's the extra deal that they got to make it done. So the mindset is, I gotta take this call.
Right.
You said, you're not thinking, I gotta take this call because otherwise I'm gonna lose the deal. I gotta show that house because I'm gonna make another transaction. Gotta feed the family. How do you overcome the challenges?
My mindset going into this was I didn't want to go back to Winterset office. So when I left, I was making 134,000 plus stocks and options. So I knew I wanted to make a great GCI my first year. So I was driven. So my first year I did 120 in my first year. And all of that has been kind of pivotal. I've been driven to make this business work. So being productive all of the time, other than when I'm with my kids. And I'm a very even-keeled person. I don't feel a lot of stress. I kind of take it on. I learn about people and I work strategically. I spend a lot of time with people one-on-one so that I understand kind of where they're at and then I can work with them, you know, at the right kind of pace.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing there is you're purposeful. It sounds like you really took on your real estate business purposefully.
Yes.
From your relationships, from the things that you did to build a relationship, and then the time that you're spending, you're purposeful.
Yes.
And I think that's evident in real estate when you are purposeful in your buyer qualification or your seller qualification, you're purposeful at your listing with the time, with the words that you're using, it makes the experience so much greater. And back to mindset, just to add to that question, it's there, it's evident. I think that no matter where you are in your business, you're always with that fear of, if I don't get it today, I'm gonna lose this client.
Right.
And I think that once you understand, if you really sit with an agent that's been through it, and as a mom, you know, we're gonna have our phone on do not disturb, and your mindset has to sink or swim, right? So if your mindset is sink or swim, but yet you're in control of your expectation, then you'll be able to manage those fears. You always get them. I mean, even now I'm in business where I am now, you know, I'm solo right now in May, I'm headed almost at 30 transactions. So even now at that, and some people will be like, okay, I'm good for the year. Like, I got the whole year ahead of me. I want to double that number. Even at that, you're like, oh, I don't take that call. Or unless it's an offer, and even now on my listings, I do 24-hour minimum irrevocables. For that reason, because if I decide, like, you know, if I decide to just take the night off, I just take the night off, right? That being said, as a realtor mom, I think you're always working.
Would you say time blocking helped you guys a lot? Kind of staying in the gear of mindset as to, okay, I've blocked myself with my kid between 3 and 7 o'clock, and that time if I get something, unless it's urgent,
Yes.
Correct.
I'm not gonna pick up my phone.
Correct.
So time block again, I think that's a common hour for us, because
Yeah,
it's
to
the
touch
dinner,
on-
it's.
Yeah, to touch on what Elaine said, I mean, you know, going into, like, you know, you've come out of the corporate world, so customer relations is kind of like what you've learned, right? Me coming out of a dental office, worked for the insurance, like I worked for an insurance company, I was, a junior estimator. We had customer relations, but it wasn't there. It was, we were sent on a job and do it. So me getting into this business, learning that I was that agent, that I got the call, I was gone. Whether it was with my kids in the car, or I had my husband watching them, or my mother-in-law, or dropping them off to my mom's, I was that agent, but didn't pre-qualify them, right? And that's where I learned very early on, was to get that mindset. Started getting personal with people, you know, just getting to know them, because once you get to know them, then you're in that mindset. Then you're in that mindset of, okay, if I'm not answering phones from 3 to 7, but you know you have that, now you know this one client who, if you don't pick up his call or her call, you're probably gonna hear it. Well, I'll pick up that call if I really know what they need. If I don't, then I send them a quick message, just like we were touching
Yeah.
on, I'm just with my children, if it's an urgent matter, shoot me an email kind of thing, right? So,
I think you're gonna go through seasons of that.
yeah,
So if you're a 10-year deal, a 10 deal a year agent, or 5, or 20, or 30, you're gonna go through seasons.
yeah.
And you're also gonna learn some hard lessons, because you're gonna miss some things. And I think it also depends where you are in your life.
And the age of your kids.
and the age
'cause
of
they
your
grow
children.
with you too.
So there are some variations there for sure, and you will learn very quickly, whether you're day 1 agent or day 600 agent.
Yeah.
If you're not doing the right steps, the real estate steps, you're gonna get the wrong results. And I think for us being here is sharing as many tools that we can with folks on how we manage career and family life. So there is sacrifice, there are moments of those, and then there's moments of just not going to your phone and being okay with what you may lose, right? Or what you're gaining too, because you're gaining control in your business, and you're
Yeah.
gaining control in your mindset. Affirmations are huge. I saw my business and my mindset and the management of my time change rapidly and immediately with affirmations. So if you're not in the habit of doing affirmations, they can be anything and everything, and they can be different. They can be seasonal to what's happening, they can be motivational. We've even gotten doing them with our children in our house. So that in itself really helps. Let's touch on a little bit on how, the question was what you found most difficult to manage, which was with career and kids. Time is what time for all of us, I think, is the most challenging.
Yeah.
Date nights. So I started doing date nights with each of them, because I consume myself with guilt, because I feel like I work
Same.
all the time. And even when I'm with the kids, I'm working. And that's challenging. And I have my 3-year-old, 4-year-old now saying, "Mommy, put down the phone." So when they start saying that to you, it's almost one of these things where it's inevitable. I think it comes down to your goals. Like if you're 10-year deals, or 10 deals a year versus 50, you have a different schedule. You're gonna have a lot more time, a lot more flexibility to be mom. But if, naturally, organically, you're growing a business where, you're 12, 15, 20, 50 deals, less time, and then you have to get into leverage. So for me, a game changer was an assistant for the challenge of time, because I could literally be home with my newborns, and I had an admin here. So if you're at 10,
Question for you. I know that you just said that, and I want to touch on that because obviously I personally know Talma for 3 years, and truly you're inspiring, and I've always talked about you to my wife. Talk to us about delegation. How much it really helped you out when you had
100%.
the admin.
Yeah, so my admin, it's my unicorn, I have a few now, but that was the biggest thing, and it took time to train, absolutely. But I had a vision, I had systems, and I knew what I wanted out of the business. I've just been mentored through other agents and just having personal drive and motivation, and then videos, YouTube, and there's so much education that we have here at Keller Williams. We're so blessed to be here. From Rural Age, it's like night and day. Like it's not even, we're all Keller Williams agents here, so it's not a punchline. But the admin just took out all of the things that take up our time as an agent. So no matter what level you're at, you should be doing business like you're a mega agent. Coming into this, I heard a newer agent talk about, she met someone and that's all she kept saying, you agent, just drop that.
Yeah.
You gotta be doing
They're not-
business like you,
Yeah.
back to mindset. You
Yeah.
gotta be
Yeah,
doing business
love that,
from
yeah.
day one,
Yeah.
like you are a mega agent. Nobody needs to know you're new,
No.
okay? There's a way to play on words, get around that, but just leveraging all the stuff that takes time, the database stuff, the paperwork, the marketing, the offer writing, the clauses, the touches, the stay in touch, your events, presentations,
Checklists.
consultations,
Yeah.
checklists, I can keep going, right? All of that stuff going off to the admin. For me, and when I was, had the babies, like nursing, like I literally came into the office, right?
I've seen you like that, yes.
Yeah, and so she was here running the business part of it, and I was bringing in the business, and if I wasn't bringing in the business, I brought in enough to be a mom, work from home, and cover her. And she ran my business and grew it.
Whoa.
So that was huge. As scary as that felt, that part of it was huge. So in my mindset, it was, you know, it was 4 to 5 deals. So if I could make 4 to 5 deals extra, I could be a mom at home, still do the work, go out for the showings here and there around my kid's schedule, and have her run the business. So that leverage was massive.
So would you say that you were the rainmaker, and you kind of identify what would be the most dollar productivity
Absolutely.
activities that you should be doing as a realtor?
Absolutely, 100%.
I did that
And how
too.
about you, Elaine? You have an assistant.
I've had an assistant since pretty much day one.
There we go.
So
Let's talk about that a little bit.
I went into the business and I actually hired my dental hygienist as my assistant to work at night, part-time, so that during the day I could build relationships with people I already knew and other people and be face-to-face, and she built my database.
And that's your lead gen.
Yeah, that was my lead gen, and so.
So we keep talking about database. What are you using for database? Is everybody on a CRM in the room?
Yeah.
And what are we using for database?
I've used Top Producer for years. We're starting to move over as it gets better into the
What
California
do you-
Edge program.
You or do EDGE?
Yeah.
And I've been with Exact Contact since day one, since I got my license day one, which we'll be moving over to Command very soon. But with that said, does everybody in the room have a CRM?
That's major.
And you use it. You use it as a tool of your business for those that don't have an assistant. Do you use it? Do you use it to its full capabilities to grow your business and keep your business organized?
Not using that.
Yeah, like, that's my life.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
my
it. Just like our
life.
calendar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how does a realtor mom do it? I would say it takes a village.
To raise
People
a family,
around
I
you,
agree.
right? So you need support. Like Mariana said, you need a husband, you need a mom, you need a babysitter,
You need a good
support.
support network.
You need
I
an
was
agent.
a single mom my first year in real estate.
Right.
I've been a single mom since.
You need an agent
Yeah.
so that you have some normality to your life when you can't. So
Yeah.
work it out. Find a buddy. If you're a solo agent,
Yeah.
find another realtor mom or another single agent
Yeah.
and say, hey, you know, we don't have to be partners, we don't have to be in a team, but how do you feel about you go away, I go away, or I need something, you need something, and we can compensate, leverage each other and help each other out
Yeah.
with whatever agreement you come
To
to.
touch on Thoma's, getting your support system, I had to sit my husband down. I had to sit my in-laws down and my parents. Listen, this is not a 9 to 5. This isn't a job that I can sit at home, kick my feet up, and take a sick day and the money is strolling in. To a degree, it is, but I still got to be out there working. So I had to in the beginning, lay it down. Like if I'm not. If I'm upstairs working in my office, don't bother me. If you hear the kids calling in the bathroom, get up. Don't wait for me to yell at your name to go do it, right? So it got that support. I have a great support team. I mean, my mother-in-law has been my saving grace. She's helped out a lot, same with my mom. My mom's moved out now further, but it's sometimes you gotta let these people, you gotta let them know because they don't necessarily understand real estate,
Yeah.
right? So you got to get them on your page to a degree, right? And they got to understand where you're coming from, why you're growing your business, and what you want, what your goals are for it, and then do a family goal. Like I have a family goal as well, right? So it's
Yeah, big setting goals and also speaking to your children depending on what age they are because this is a big change for them.
Yeah.
So if they were used to mom being around at a certain time, or if you say, hey, I have a really great goal of taking us to Disney or buying us a bigger home or whatever it is you're having that goal with your child, whether they're adult children or mid-range children or younger, you really need to make them understand what you're doing and that you are going to be working at different hours and that you are going to be missing some bedtimes, right? Because you will. There's sacrifices, right? So just because you had mentioned you're with baby and you guys, it's you and Jesse, and do you have an admin?
So I've been kind of both.
Yeah.
More admin side, and then if he can't make it to a showing, I'll do that kind of stuff. So right now we're kind of figuring out what's the best way to go about it, if I should stay fully admin once the baby comes and then he can kind of do that stuff, or I fully move on
Yeah.
to being an agent and then get an admin. So that's kind of, I don't know, maybe you guys can help
Absolutely,
with
and
that
that's
too.
why I asked the question,
Yeah.
just to take it away from
I
us
would,
and
because
things
I
like that.
hired someone part-time at night, I built that part of the investment into my business as I grew. So that part-time person at night turned into another part-time person during the day, Monday to Wednesday, 10 to 2. And then it grew to full-time, like 9 to 3:30.
I would,
So-
to answer that, what I would say is, I think the biggest question comes down to understanding what you and Jesse want for what your first child's gonna look like in
Yeah,
that
right.
experience.
Right.
So if you're looking to be mom, full hands-on, because you can do both, but you don't know what the child's gonna be like.
Right.
If the child is colic,
Yeah.
we used to joke around, because one of my admins is on mat leave, and I'm like, you'll be in here in 4 months. She can't get a moment to herself because there's been some situations with the child, right? The child's beautiful and healthy, but some are more needy, some don't leave your arms, some
For
eat
sure.
all the time. So you have to be prepared for that.
You have a
Some-
new boss coming.
Some sleep all day, some, you know, like I had some grip on the swing and I'm banging out Legion, it was great.
Yeah.
Like, we were nursing and making deals, it was awesome. And then there's others that cry more, right? So you don't know what you're gonna get
Yeah.
if it's little ones. I would really encourage you guys, because here's the worst thing. I mean, you get to be a mom hands-on for at least the first 6 months. It sounds like, just knowing a little bit about your business and Jesse's, that you have a healthy, growing business. It's not gonna go backwards. So you're at the point where really, if you leverage an admin and that's all they do to support Jesse and even support you, because you could totally lead gen with that baby. When that baby's down for naps and you're not supporting Jesse and his admin stuff, maybe supporting him in showing, so you get that 1 or 2 or 3, 4 more deals out,
Right.
that will pay for your admin.
Right.
And then he or she will be completely managing and growing your back end in business. And then you could be mom. You're in a great place where you can just strategize different than we did. You could be mom and grow your real estate business and be 2 agents on a team. And in that time, because you will have more downtime, let's say in the sense where if you're not actively selling, you can train her.
Right.
And I think for me, if I were to give you advice as a mom, that's the advice I would give you. I wouldn't try to be agent, new mom, first new mom.
First
You know,
mom,
maybe
yeah.
when you're a war mom, you're like,
Yeah.
they're eating dirt, they're okay. You know, they're gonna be fine. The first one, you're like, what do you do with
What am I
this,
doing?
right? But I would definitely say
I
if
can
you
find
want
my
to
kids,
enjoy all of it and still be successful monetarily and keep good relationships with the people you have, I would leverage an admin right away.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Properly hired through our systems, because you get, like, every time I have not used our systems, it's been a bad hire. That's the truth. I could speak to.
Use our systems. Use the KW systems. Take advantage.
And be a mom, and be ready when the baby's ready to be either in daycare or Montessori, or they're staying home with you, but you still have business coming in paying for that, and you can be a mom and train her properly.
And in addition to that, like being a mom is a whole other farm for you. So going to school, I go to every school trip. I'm at
Thank
the
you for
school,
talking about
everybody
that.
knows that I'm in real estate. At the school, their soccer, their gymnastics, their dance, everything. I'm involved, people know.
That's
It's a big
perfect that
part
you
of my
said
business
that.
too.
That, I was gonna ask you guys that, what business has come to you through being a day-to-day mom? Daycare, sports, dance,
Everything.
anything that you can.
Sponsorships, like my nephew is in rep hockey, so I sponsor all
Okay.
those. I sponsor the big baseball teams.
What does something like that cost?
It depends on what you want, like I could do anywhere between 200 and 500.
Yeah, so
And then
would
they
everybody
market
agree
it,
that
I brand it.
that's
It's on
feasible,
my
it's cheap,
website.
right?
Yeah.
That's not expensive for what we spend on business cards or marketing or door knocking, 300 flyers, 200 or 500 to invest in yourself is not expensive. And you don't have to be that mom at the hockey or gymnastics where like, hey, I'm a realtor, like who wants that, right? You're showing in people's faces, but you could have your photo and your sponsorship up in the arena, and naturally, those conversations will come up.
Yeah.
So-
And every time you go to a party or a get-together or one of those games, you always get validated because people will come up to you and say, how's the market?
You better know the market.
Oh, yes.
Like whether you're a new agent or a juggling mom agent, I always say, I use the line a lot, which is I'm never working and always working. And what I mean by that is, even when I'm not working at a barbecue, at a mom event,
Here's an intent.
I'm always very
Yes.
conscious of my language and I'm intentful.
Mhm.
So you don't have to say, hey, I'm a realtor, but you
Yeah.
definitely have enough speaking skill
Right.
to bring the conversation around to bring up real estate or what you do, and organically you'll build a relationship. So you want to speak to that?
Or you have a 9-year-old who just kind of, oh, my mom's a real estate agent. Thanks, honey. Go play.
Usually
I
that's
swear
what
to God, she
it
does
is.
that. I'm not sure she's been doing it since she's been 3. But, you know, to touch on that, like, you know, going to like play dates or, you know, birthday parties, you know, you're standing with the moms, you know, to touch on what Tom, you're not just, oh, by the way, I'm a real estate agent. No, I just, oh, what do you do, you know, is this your son or your daughter?
Totally.
Well, yeah, you know, and then that's how the conversation goes. So what do you do for work? You know, I see you at the school often. How are you flexible? You know, get into mom talk. And then they throw the question, oh, what do you do? I see you know, if they haven't already known, you know, who you are. And then that's when I touch on the whole real estate thing. Just telling them I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Real Estate Associates, I've been doing it for whatever. Then they'll right away ask you, oh, so how's the market? I live at, you know, 123 Smith Drive, you know, kind of thing, and, you know, what do you think? And then at that time, you spark up that conversation, well, if you think
Yeah,
of
that's
selling
your
or that kind of thing, and yeah, add them to your database. But, you know, at my school for Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, I've been supporting a friend of mine, her daughter's in university, and she made soaps and bath bombs. So for Valentine's Day, I made little heart, had her made these little heart, bath bombs, and she packaged them. I attached my business card to them,
That's fantastic.
and they went
That's
in the kids'
fantastic.
backpacks.
Right?
And
Great
I still
idea.
have moms, well,
Yeah.
for Easter I did they were little soap bunnies. And moms are like, oh my God, my son won't stop washing his hands with that soap. Or like, I'm getting this conversation all the time, but I'm touching them. They know who gave it, realtor mom. They can't say my name for the life of them.
Yeah.
They know it's realtor mom.
That's
Funny.
great. Let's throw out some ideas of some things that we have done as what you've just brought up, which is great. Has anyone ever sent out Mother's Day cards?
No, I did a Mother's Day contest, but I did it
Yeah.
for
Yeah, so some
any
yeah.
motherly role, so it could be an aunt, a stepmom.
Yeah, so in our database, we have our groups, so you wanna categorize everyone, you don't wanna categorize your moms. Like I categorize my moms and my dads, and if we decide to send a Mother's Day card versus a birthday card,
Right.
or, you know, there's nothing wrong with hitting them by mail 3 times, right? So you wanna try and get a good mix on your business for email and print and phone calls, mixing that up, because people get indicted with email and they get tired of that. I get such a much better, stronger response off print lately than I do off of email. So what impact would you have on a mom, being a working mom, and somehow in your busy hustle and bustle of just being a mom, but yet you're doing business, you go out and remember 30, 40 women in your database because you've grouped them as you meet them as a realtor mom, and then you pull up your list off your CRM and you mail out 30, 40, you know, Mother's Day cards with a $3 Tim card or a $5 Tim card, or no Tim card if you can't afford it yet, right? How impactful would that be? You think that mom would ever remember? Yeah, she's gonna remember, and she's gonna be inspired by that thought. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to that humane touch, right? People are inspired by humanity, and we lack a lot of that now in business. And so when you're doing things like that, you get more of a result and your business grows. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I also, my sister-in-law opened up a Connecting Dots Behavioral Therapy Services center just down the street from here, actually. And she works with children with autism and special needs. I, in my own family, have, you know, a couple of family members that themselves have autism, so it's touched me in that way. So when she was opening up her center, they used me to lease out their commercial property. And now I'm their spokesperson for them. So I sponsored a family that, you know, who don't have maybe government funding. So I did a $1,000 grant last year for them. And how we did that was, you know, to touch and be personable. A lot of these moms, you know, depending on their culture, they don't want to talk about it. It's not something they want known out there. So how we did the lottery was they all wrote their story, either anonymously or, you know, they can put their names on it. And the kind of, that was all of my thought, just to, and now it's a binder at their, like, coffee table when you come into their waiting area, where other moms are reading it, you know, and know that they're not alone in it. So now when I go visit the center, I see these moms, you know, and they're like, because of you, I have a voice. Because of you, I have another mom to, you know, to be personal with, right?
Have you
So-
gotten business from that yet?
Yes, I have had 3 leads since
Wow.
August from there. Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions so far? Is there anything specific that you want to know that we haven't touched on?
You kind of went over it more so, like, if you go back to, like, when you all first started, like, now obviously you're established and you have, like,
Yeah.
a bit of leverage to help with, like, your assistants and whatever, so, yeah, going back to, like, the early days of, like, balancing everything, can you maybe just, like, elaborate a bit more on that? I know you said, like, you were, like, time blocking out, you were going to pick up calls between 3 and 7, but
Right.
is that something you did when you first started?
No.
Or, like,
No.
like, what's, I know, like, we should think of ourselves not as new, but for those that are new, but, like, should we be doing that now? But, you know, it's just,
Yes.
just
Yes,
fast.
yes.
I'll share with you something I did at the very, very beginning, because the database itself overwhelmed me with all the data, and it was hard for me to manage it,
Yeah.
because like, even having someone at night, they couldn't always do it. So I had like a board in my
A whiteboard.
office, always had a space where I could work. And I would have it like a timeline, so new person, and then I'd move them into buyers, it'd be like little people, and I would move them along with pins along, and then where they were at, so that every day I got up and I looked at that board. Who do I need to talk to today, who do I need to move forward? And I still do that.
Trello. Trello is an app that can keep you super, super organized, and you can create all kinds of tabs. I can show you my Trello board and what that looks like. It can give you reminders. You can put all your new leads. You can put your purchases, your sales. You can do anything. You can create anything in it, referral gifts, anything like that. So I think